In the spring of 2018, I made a personal treaty for my stealth interceptor, which was named Spacehawk. But Spacehawk was also the name of a specific business proposal that I had come up with earlier in the autumn of 2017. Now, this treaty was based on a reading of the Treaty on Open Skies. And under the Treaty on Open Skies, there is a methodology whereby exemplars concerning specific kinds of observation vehicles can be given special consideration. And in the original personal treaty that I composed, I referenced the applicable codes and the applicable aspects of the treaty. I sent it to 4 members of the Senate, and I also sent it to every person I went to class with when I was studying non-destructive testing. My understanding was that at some point somebody had taken it upon themselves to think they had a right to access me and my skills and capabilities without my informed consent, and without appropriately identifying who they were and under what auspices they felt they were entitled to do so. I did it as a means of practical self-defense because I understood that there had been acts of identity theft that had impacted serious security paradigms with which my identity had been associated. If nothing else, I had worked in a compliance role for a municipal and county public health department. Those are the kind of personnel that one who is prudent would understand could be potentially vulnerable to a hack or an effort for enticement or coercion or extortion into cooperating with illicit activity, up to and including acts of terrorism. So it was completely logical, and it was a completely sound decision, I believe, on my part. And considering that I had recently been certified in non-destructive testing and understood the implications of the potential uses of that kind of technology, anybody who had the least little bit of literacy shouldn't have really thought that this was a novel thing and shouldn't have been surprised. What was surprising, on the other hand, was the response. I understand that whoever it was that ended up receiving it didn't evaluate it or consider it with the gravity and profundity it deserved. Now, in that time, my versions, my copies of that personal treaty are gone. They've been stolen. I don't have any records of them. The written printout I made has been stolen. All of the electronic versions I have been stolen. I did print out a version of this, and I gave it to someone along with a list of people who were banned from using my stealth interceptor during a specific time frame. That person took the written copy from me, the written version, which was actually an original printout, said that he had faxed it to somebody involved with national security, and initialed the copy that he gave me of the copy he made of what I gave him as a confirmation of the time and date that he received it. He claimed he was receiving it as an official member of staff for a United States senator. So, that is one understanding of Spacehawk. Spacehawk was and is of the capability to understand the full implications of something like the Treaty on Open Skies, what it portends, and that in lieu of anybody demonstrating anything close to the national security acumen necessary to handle these kinds of capabilities, that extraordinary measures were called for, and they were taken. And while I don't have a copy of the official version of the treaty, I do remember the basic aspects of it and understand that it has been in violation since at the least March of 2018, when it was formally submitted for review and dissemination among members of the United States Senate, as well as other people that I considered to be my colleagues who had also been apprised prior to that, as had these particular members of the Senate, that there were serious national security matters that needed to be attended to in a more forthright manner than to this day they have been attended. That's part one.